Let's see. And we're live.
Yay. Hi, Thomas.
Hey, how are you? So, who have we got?
We got Jennifer Rogers. She is, now get it straight for me. You got the Canadian and you got the UK. Tell me, share with you a little bit about yourself.
I am Canadian,
Gary.
living in the UK. I'm living in the north of Scotland. And
Okay, wow.
I'm going to be flying down on the Friday before the event and then coming back on Saturday morning or Sunday morning.
Cool.
Over.
What brings you to the north of Scotland?
My husband is from here. He grew up here, but right now he's currently in Angola in West Africa working offshore. So
great.
So I came all the way.
So he left you up there.
I'm by myself with 2 kids.
Nice. Okay, well that'd be fun for you to come down, see civilization.
Yes, I can get away from everybody here for a weekend. Wouldn't hurt for a break.
Great. Mama needs a break.
Definitely, after this last 4 weeks, I definitely need a break. My kid does not sleep, so
and
I'm empty.
What's your brief potted history of Beachbody? Just give me a sense.
My first try out of any program from Beachbody was Insanity, because at the time before our wedding, that was like everybody was doing Insanity. You have to do this. So I did that before our wedding. Then I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, so I kind of, took a year off of doing anything really. And then my sister was getting married when my daughter was little, so I tried 21 Day Fix, and she was actually the one who mentioned that to me. My family still lives in Canada, so I didn't really know anything about 21 Day Fix until she mentioned it to me. So then I did that a few times I did a few rounds of that before her wedding, and then I found out I was pregnant with my son. So I took another hiatus for a little while, and after he turned 1, I was like, okay, that's it now. It's time to go again. So I've spent this past almost a year now just doing program after program and switching it up and doing lots of different things. So.
And you're using Beachbody On Demand, right?
Yes, yeah.
Cool. That's good.
That's about it for me. I'm currently in my last week at a shift shop.
Great.
And then I'm going to do something different next week when my husband gets home, and hopefully I'll be able to do it a little earlier in the day, because right now I'm finding it really hard by the time to get the motivation to actually do it at night after spending all day with
Sure. It's like a long day.
Yeah.
But you found Shift Shop good, right?
Yeah, I find it really good, although I'm really a lover of Adam's programs, and I think just because I've had my experiences with Shanti so much, I'm kind of more used to that. So I'm finding it just a little bit slower than what I'm used to. But that doesn't mean that I'm not sweating at the end of it. So 45
cool, and I guess
is pushing it as well.
You've got Autumn's 80-day obsession coming up, so it's going to be pretty exciting for you for January. So
I'm going to have to start back in with all of her programs again before Christmas. So I'll be ready.
Yes. And I see Kerry has joined as well.
Hi.
Hey, Kerry.
Hi, Thomas.
I was just doing just asking people a little bit of their history, so I just got a sense of what you all did, so I could talk to you more in right context.
Okay. So quite many years, at least 4+ years ago, I found Beachbody through Slim & Six, and
great program.
I was really crazy overweight, the heaviest I've ever been. And I did it so you buy the disc, and I did that.
Yep.
And then it kind of, I guess I just stopped again. And then I started going to the gym a bit, and this, that, and the other. And then it started this January for me, my fitness journey. I've just been a bridesmaid for one of my best friends, and we went on holiday to Italy. It's my first time. It was my first time flying and my first proper holiday abroad in many, many years. So I kind of, like most women, you just want to look good. So I started with Beachbody, and I did it on demand. I've done. So I did I started with Autumn's 21-day Fix Extreme, and then I've done Sean T25.
Yeah.
Shift Shop rounds 1 and 2. Bits of yoga, bits of plyo.
Great.
And I'm now currently on Insanity Max 30. So I'm on the first.
Cool. Wow. God, you really gone for it. And where are you based?
I'm in a little village called Coles. I live near Worcestershire,
Yeah.
West Midlands.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty central.
So what's the village called? Sorry.
I live in a little village. It's called Colwell.
Oh, cool. Okay, super. So great. So you both like from completely different parts of the country, and is everyone coming to London?
Yeah.
Yes. Good. Everyone's got their. So exciting. Jitana, are you doing like a team group meeting as well in London? Are you doing some stuff in London?
We are. We're going to do a team. Everybody's doing either AM or PM, so we don't have all of us.
Yes, a bit mixed up.
Yeah, so I'm trying to work out the logistics of either doing an evening, like after everything, having an evening dinner together. And I also want to do like a private training where I can start laying the foundations. And we've already kind of done some team stuff, but and then we got our little epic UK shirts, so they're all going to be matching. But yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be amazing.
It is. There's a few more ladies that are not on right now, but we have a pretty good, solid community and we're communicating daily. Right?
Great. Yeah. How many people are you kind of roughly communicating with between you all now in your little group when you're talking in your group meetings and things in the UK?
I can look right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of us that are.
Great. It's a nice tight team.
Yep.
Super. So I thought these kind of things, it's easy to, like, some of you obviously all know a little bit. Oh, hang on, there's another edition.
Oh, that's my assistant. She's jumping on me.
Good. So I'm going to just, hey.
Sorry.
That's okay. How you doing?
I'm good.
Sorry. All right, go ahead.
We'll let her drive. So you obviously all of you got a little bit of background on the company because you've like done a lot of programs, and even for Kerry, like going back to Slim in 6. I mean, that must have been a few years ago, right? Was that a few years ago, Slim in 6, with the DVDs? Because we launched Slim in 6 in 2011.
Yeah.
Was when it first launched. So I don't know if it's like as long ago as how far you went back with that program, but I remember that was a huge success for us here. So, I mean, a bit of a potted history, because I don't think a lot of you will appreciate, and Johanna maybe even more so will appreciate that the background of the company. So even in this time 8 years ago, so literally September, October 8 years ago, we were doing the first tests for direct response TV in the UK. So we've been literally in the UK that long. And I sort of officially came on board. I was helping out, and then I officially came on board beginning January of 2011, and we kind of built the business from there off the back of the infomercials. So we were literally just doing infomercials, and we had Insanity, we had P90X, we had Brazil Butt Lift, 10-Minute Trainer. We even tested in Body Gospel, and then we had Slim in 6. So and we kind of ran those programs through, and Insanity and Slim in 6 were huge programs for us here, and really what I think everyone remembers us for. And when we do brand consumer research trials and ask people what brand they are aware of from, then Insanity generally comes up as like a top 3 fitness brand in the UK, and Slim in 6 actually comes extremely high as well. So there, I guess, is the foundation of this business. And I think that's the exciting thing, is that even on this call, we've got people who have started it and got to know us a long time ago and actually found success with programs. And Slim in 6, bear in mind, was, even though we were only showing that in 2011, that program was even older. and I'm trying to think how many years before actually we had that program in the US, but some years before. And so, but even then, you see a grounding of of how we function and how the company works with and so different in terms of the workouts, and how we present them and how we motivate people through them. And then you bring all of that into the now with Beachbody on Demand, which I think you're all using Beachbody on Demand, which is amazing. And we have the same concepts behind the same amazing production values and all the motivational pieces that go with that, plus all of the exclusive stuff that goes along, and I guess the whole convenience thing. Not least for me, from not having a warehouse full of DVDs like we have. We send out DVDs still, but not nearly on the scale, obviously. So we're obviously super excited. And now we bring in, so we also in 2013 we had the Beachbody Live. So I don't know if anyone's done any live classes in the UK, but Insanity was a huge success for us in 2013 when we launched the Beachbody Live classes here. We built that up. So now we have P90X, we have Pio. We just launched Quarter Force. Sizes launching in Q4 here. We actually have a few Turbo Kick classes, although we don't formally do workshops for that. We have a few Turbo Kick classes around the country as well. So again, even within the PT community with the personal trainers and the gyms, there is this brand awareness of our programs. And I think fundamentally, when you launch into a direct selling business, this is almost unheard of. If you think of any other direct selling company that has come into the UK, they pretty much started from zero. And there's very little brand recognition apart from maybe they started in America and there's some Americans who moved over and they got a bit of brand recognition here. But we've been building this brand for so long. So and I think it's a pretty well trusted brand. Very few people, you can fail on a program by not doing it, but people who do our programs very rarely fail at the end of their 60 days or 6 weeks, or whatever it is. So it's very hard once you commit, as you all know. And so with that background, you then sort of move into this whole concept now that we build in the nutrition side. And have you all tried Shakeology? Had a chance to try it ever? No? Oh, gosh, it's going to be so good.
I smuggled some bags back from Canada my last
Oh,
trip,
well done.
and my mom to send me another one just like a couple months ago, so I have to be sparing with it. Can't have every day.
She's smuggled up.
So come October 19th, when you have the London event, and you're going to get a chance to, well, first of all, by October 19th, you're going to be able to order, and then October 21st on the event, you're actually going to be able to try this, because we're going to have Shakeology tasters at the end of the event, so people will actually be able to get to try the product. But actually on the 19th, you'll be able to order it anyway, and so it'll start winging its way to you. So even over that weekend, deliveries will start to hit. So some of you will get deliveries. North far reaches of Scotland might be Monday before your shipment hits. It depends how your post is, but yes, you will be able to order on the 19th, and that's pretty exciting. And I'm sure that you've heard all of the amazing things about the Shakeology stories, but I think what you're going to find is that individually you will all have your own story of why Shakeology is working for you and why it works for you, and why, when you don't have it for some reason, for some inexplicable reason, you manage to miss a day of Shakeology, how at the end of the day you're like, actually, gosh, what happened today? And you really get this sense that something was missing because you missed your daily dose of dense nutrition. And it's true, and I have that same thing. Sometimes I'm rushing out the house to a really early meeting, and I don't get a chance to grab a shake on the way, and I'm at the end of the day, I'm like, oh man, like I actually need a Shakeology now. It's almost like that's how your body is craving it. So it's pretty exciting that that's going to happen. And then on top of that, for those of you who are into the performance side, oh look at that, you're going to have the Beachbody Performance range, which we've got, I mean, so much excitement around that. So much, but I mean, both Shakeology and Beachbody Performance have got some good clinicals. Like if you're on a NEMA call on Tuesday, you would have seen that as well. So we're kind of super excited about just the development of the nutrition side of the business for Beachbody and what we can do in the UK, where typically UK people are kind of skeptical, but we've built in this clinical research as well that will hopefully be able to explain in a way that sort of cynical Brits understand why we have these incredible nutrition products. But I think there's some tips that we've been trying to give to people on these calls, and I think one of the things I'm gonna say, which I think even for, and actually most, I'm gonna say even, but actually especially for US people as well as UK people, everyone's got their why, and you both of you just told me a little bit of your story and your background, and I think that develops, both of those sound like they're really great reasons why you started, and even the ups and downs, which I think are even almost as important, you know, the hiatus of whether you had children or whether, you know, something happened in your life, though, all of those things, but getting back onto the health and fitness wagon and trundling on and still trying to achieve, you know, long-term goals. They're great, but actually as well for the US team and all the people in the upline, one of the things I'm trying to explain to people is to really go back as well, because if you've been in the business for a few years, you can end up forgetting to explain why you got into business in the very first place. And actually for British people who you're trying to recruit onto your team, to have that understanding of why your uplines got into business in the first place, what their story is as well, is just as important. And so really questioning some of the people further up in the team and really getting their story will help, because everyone's going to have a story that is going to relate to someone else that you are talking to, whether it's in the school playground or you know, in at work or whatever. And being able to find those people and relate those stories. And so someone's sitting next to you at a dinner party, or you're at the PTA meeting or whatever it is, and they're telling you this like story about themselves, and you're like, well, it just so happens that I was just on a call with a friend of mine in the US who's just gone through that, and we're all in this Beachbody team. But lots of the times, you won't, like, people who start in this business now, they forget to go back and ask people who are in the business already in the US, what is your history? What's your background? Why are you doing this? What are the ups and downs? And I've had some incredible stories from US coaches and Canadian coaches over the last few weeks, where we've really gone back to what drove you from almost leaving school. What were the ups and downs that created this environment that suddenly you realized that doing a Beachbody workout, Shakeology, all of those factors that we roll into the Beachbody story, that worked for them. And it became ultimately very relatable. So as you think about your lives and the things you just described to me as well, take a look at how you can maybe encapsulate those into some videos. And I'm sure that you've done lots of talks about how you're going to introduce yourselves and how you can sort of, I suppose, create a social media buzz as well. But one of the things that I really think is the most powerful is your personal stories and things that really work here. And it's not the full-on North American, the personal story where we're all sort of watching someone have a sort of breakdown and there's tears everywhere and like that. So that doesn't, as you know, the Brits will know that doesn't always work for us. We're like, oh, pull yourself together. But there is a relatable story in there, and that for us, we feel that's a really important part of how you can grow your business with your personal story, is being able to talk about the past failures and successes that got you to where you are now, and why you want to be part of our business as well.
So how do you feel them coming out and saying that they're joining Team Beachbody? What's the best first step for them?
I think, so obviously you were at Summit, and so you saw what Shalene talked about and how this sort of slowly, how you push social media and you don't talk too much about brands, but I think it's absolutely so some people have gone full on and they've immersed themselves into, hey, right, this is my team, I'm on this team, and I'm going to be, this is my coach. And I think that some of that stuff works if you've introduced it over time of, I'm doing all of this stuff in the meantime. If you've never posted before about your health and fitness goals and you just suddenly launch into, I'm with Team Epic, and it's like a big long paragraph about it, that probably in the Charlene school of social media and introducing doesn't work. You have to basically build up your story a little bit with some posts of your fitness goals, your health goals, or what you're trying to achieve. And it's like putting it out there a little bit and building up the basics of your story. And then it starts to become really, it makes sense all of a sudden that people start going, oh, okay, you're in Team Epic, or like now you can make an instruction. But I think the other thing is, and again, from the Charlene school of social media, is the long multi-paragraph, we're talking like someone writing 10 paragraphs of their story of why they ended up on the team. No one reads that. And so it's either a short video of why I'm doing something, going live and saying why I'm doing something. And of course, you can't just go live if you've never done that before, you can't just go live and announce something. You kind of have to, otherwise it looks odd as well. Like it looks forced. So it's a case of building up I'm going live because I'm doing this workout. I'm going live because I'm gonna show you this healthy meal I've just made and I'm really proud of it. And building up a momentum of going live or posting in a certain way that creates your brand, and then you can make your announcement. So you've still got a good clear month to be able to really clarify and make your statement ahead of the London event by doing some of those posts. And I think a critical factor is also creating your own brand. This is like Jatana's done here, she's a brand in her own right. So Team Epic is one part of the brand. Jatana is the other part of the brand. And Beachbody actually is just some part of to my mind, is really supporting those brands. But actually, you are the person who is driving this. And I think everyone has to find their own brand within the overall brand of Team Epic and within the overall, with the overall brand of Beachbody, sort of sitting somewhere across all of those pieces. And if you look at the really successful coaches, and adding to Team Epic's already a group of successful coaches, but I look at, let's say Melanie Metro, let's say Melissa McCusker, big time coaches as well, who are elite coaches as well. If you look at them, they do exactly the same thing as Jatana and Team Epic. They put themselves as the brand and they create their own stories, and underneath that is the Beachbody story as well, and their own personal journey story. So that's that's what I feel you have to kind of learn now, so it doesn't look weird when you suddenly start posting.
And I think the lovely thing is these ladies have been sharing their fitness journey on social media. Some of them already have fitness Instagram accounts, and that's what they focus on.
Yes.
And my wheelhouse in the network in general, like other teams come to me. I had Barbie Kalev on my call last night or yesterday. They come to me.
Yes, I saw that.
In social media. So that's my jam. I'm excited to be able to teach them the concept of curiosity marketing, how to put your brand, and your brand, when we say brand, it sounds so like official, but it's just, who are you and how can somebody else relate to you?
Exactly.
And us as women and moms, as you can see, have lots of things that we relate to. I relate to the fact that baby just crawled up on her lap and started to, fidgeting around. That's totally normal for me. And so, like, when we get on a call, and this is just a small example of how you can start breadcrumbing, the word breadcrumbing, like
exactly
things out there, is take a picture of us talking on the call with your baby on your lap, and you're like, I'm at home talking with my team, having, getting motivated and encouraged, and I can have my baby on my lap while I'm running my business. Those little things, like right there. Sorry, go ahead.
And I think this is really interesting that just even from a Beachbody perspective. So I have 3 sisters. All 3 of them at some point have been in direct selling businesses. 2 of them are currently in direct selling businesses. One is a leader, like she's what I have one. One sister is like the Melanie of Stella and Dot in Europe, and so she's number one stylist in Europe. And I would say that business is a really, like, people talk about that business and they're like, hey, this is like, I'm making money in this business. No, the amount of time she spends at home to be able to run that business, to be able to do everything she needs to do to be on the top of her game, it's not like a Beachbody business where, yes, you need to be super organized, but you can actually do it from home. When you're doing some like trunk shows and all these things, you're out. I mean, properly out. You're running around the country trying to get all, like, doing meetings, and actually having to see real people in real life to show them these products. It's totally different business, and it's really interesting. I have another sister in doTERRA business. It's a very similar concept. I look at them, I'm like, what are you doing in those businesses when all your lives aren't easier? Like, this is the business to be in for sure. Like, this is where you really can be at home being a mum. But unfortunately, my wife, because she's married to me, can't be a Beachbody coach. She's not allowed. It's part of the rules. We would have to separate or divorce. And I can't work out if that's good or bad. Anyway, but she's created this incredible following over the years in exactly the same way as we just talked about. She turned up having done Insanity to the playground one day, and one of the mums just went up to her and was like, oh my God, what, like, you look amazing, what happened? And she's like, I'm just done Insanity, I'm going to do 225 next. And this mum's like, wow, can I do it with you? And she's like, sure, like, here's buy a DVD. And so she went and they did it. And this is like before real WhatsApp was a really big thing. And she's like, they're messaging on Facebook and they're texting each other. And then the next week, another mom's like, hey, I heard you were doing this T25 group. I've got a wedding to go to. And then the next week, another 2 mums, and it like built. And eventually she had like 30 people doing effectively a challenge group with her, that just came from nothing. And now every time she does another program, she's got group of mums who just, hey, what are you doing this time? Can I join? I'm like, I really want to do something with like this. So just this week she's doing 21 Day Fix. She just started because her friend had just come up to her in the playground and said, hey, I need to do something. I've got my 40th party coming up. I want to get into this dress. How can you help? And so my wife's like, let's do 21 Day Fix. And so it starts, and it's so natural and so easy. And she didn't sell any of those things to anyone. They bought from her because it was what they saw of her and her success in terms of her health and fitness goals and what she wanted to achieve. But she didn't go out with a big sort of hoopla about her success. She just talked openly about what she was doing, and that's the secret to this, I think, is just, and it comes down to fundamentally it's the 4 vital behaviors, isn't it? And that's the being a product of the product, and that's what she does to be successful. But all of you are going to have exactly the same situations in your life, especially with kids running around. I know for sure from seeing my wife and all her friends that their kind of constant in their background is, how do I maintain some sort of semblance of health and fitness in this incredibly busy world where they're trying to run the school stuff, do the PTA stuff, hold down jobs, do all the kids after school clubs, all of these things. How do I do all of those things and be a good mom? And all of a sudden it starts just to become clear that we have the answer, and it's all here wrapped up into Beachbody On Demand and nutrition.
So when you said about being a brand yourself, I get it in relation to what you were saying about the vital behaviors and being a product of the project, but like you mentioned with Jitana, like Jitana clearly has a brand, and she's and the way that
didn't come from nothing. That came from nothing, though. I mean, that's what I guess what we're saying. It's like you didn't start off as a brand.
it grew and developed over time.
And it's like you. So your story, like the Slim in 6 story, where you started with Slim in 6, that's the beginning of how you developed the Kerry brand. Basically, you just build up your story, your life story of your successes and your failures, and people buy into that. Quite often they'll buy into the failures as much as they will buy into the successes, because as long as you're bouncing back, and gradually that becomes your brand. Because a brand is really just a story, right? If you look at any brand, in the world, whether it's Coca-Cola or McDonald's or what, you know, you name it, Ford. They're really just stories and of success. And so if you look at it from that perspective, then all we've got here is your brand is your story that you build up over time. And it takes, like, just like everything else, no brand just pops up overnight either. You look at any mega brand even, they didn't happen overnight. They were things that happened as they got success and as they got followers because of that success. And it's exactly the same thing. This is just on a different kind of slightly different scale because it's you building out your own story. But your story is the brand.
Right. Okay.
But I think British people can be very reserved about their story.
Yeah.
And that's why, and you probably didn't get a chance to release. I don't think we've really released the Shalene videos, but if you follow Shalene Johnson on social media as well, you really see a lot of the kind of she talks about a lot of, and she repeats a lot of the stuff that she said at Summit, which is essentially how it's a very soft. Everything's like a soft sell. You're not really selling anything. You're helping people, and you're just talking about yourself, and you build out how people feel about you and and why people ask you questions, and you post in a way that isn't sort of a deliberate I want someone to ask me a question in a sort of Juice Plus kind of way. It's a okay, here's an example. So let's say you just do a PIO workout. You might just post, God, like, I don't know, I just did an amazing stretch workout, feel great, can't believe how easy that was, or something like that. And that's it, you're done. And you might post later in the day, like a meal that you just made, like a really great avocado salad or something that's like super healthy and took you 2 minutes to make. And you might later on in that week post a very quick sort of video of you making some super healthy soup that took you 3 minutes, and it's like in blending it down into a video was like a 10-second quick video. So all of those kind of things, skills that you kind of learn as you go with social media. But as you build those things out, you're gradually just creating this story, and people just start to go, hey, what's the recipe for that soup? That looked really great. Hey, how do you make that salad? Hey, that stretch thing, I really like, I did something to my back. Can you tell me what that stretch thing is all about? And it just creates a conversation. You never said to them at one time, I did this amazing PIO workout. That all they're going to do is go and Google PIO now. And that's the point of everything. It's gradually is creating this scenarios where you're creating interest, and people just get sucked into you because you're creating this interest. Yeah. And they relate to you because they're your friends or your people within your network, because the people generally who are within your Facebook group of acquaintances, whether they're old school friends that you're just following, or with friends because you just want to know what they're up to and make sure they're not more successful than you, like most of my school friends, or they're just people who have a general interest. You met them in some mum's group or whatever. So all of those people, but broadly there's some connection, and so you'll pick those people off and you'll learn more and more what created the engagement, what created people's more interest from people, and you kind of use a bit of if you have a page, then you can use Facebook Insights, and you'll learn all of those things. But I think one of the big risks with lots of coaches in the UK as we start this is just thinking that you can walk straight in on the 19th, and on the 21st you'll come to the event and you'll be a brand, and that's not how this works. It's like, this is a breadcrumb approach, as we say, and yet it's exactly that, as we've just been describing. Build it up really slowly, and don't lose heart in the fact that this takes a little bit of time to build up, but you're going to have this incredible upline of support, which is the total difference. So yes, you're going to do personal development, you're going to read lots of books, you're going to spend a lot of time looking on the internet at how other people do stuff, and you're going to have this incredible support in your upline of people who have been doing this for years, and they are already amazing at it, and so they already know how. Ask them, how do I make that really cool video that you just did? How do I do that boomerang that I saw the other day? How do you do that? That was really cool. Like, tell me, like, you see a salad that someone else made, like, hey, tell me that, I want to post that on my wall, like, and do it. So all of those things, the support is built in for you. So it's having the confidence, not necessarily to have to go and post out there yourself at the same time, but have the confidence to ask for help from your uplines and get support. And then that'll give you the confidence to go and post all this really cool stuff that they're teaching you, because it's in everyone's interest, in their interest to support you just as much as it's in your interest to ask.
Yeah.
So when you said about, I've been wanting to ask this to Jatana for ages actually, and it just triggered it to memory. When you said about, you don't obviously say PIO within the write-up and things, and then somebody might say, oh, what's that cool stretch? Would you then, is it okay then to like put it in the comments below, or not?
This is how I handle it, because I
was going to say you should answer this, because this is your gig.
Now, you guys see me on Insta stories. I make my Shakeology every morning. I rarely, very rarely ever say Shakeology at all. My inbox, at least weekly, about 80 inbox messages saying, what is in your shake? How are you making your shake? So I build this brand around, like, every morning as a crazy busy mom, I'm making this shake. And I'm not splurging Shakeology, because the last thing I want them to do is go and Google it, because then when they Google it, they're going to get 150 coaches who are all selling Shakeology too. I want them to come to me, and I want to create a private dialogue of why they even want to know what's in my shake. And so for the PIO example, you're doing this amazing stretch routine. Somebody comes to you and they're like, I'm having back issues. I'd love to be able to do something athletic, but I can't. So that stretch routine looks really interesting. I think I could do it. What is it you're doing? Never in the comment section do you want to put PIO, because what does that do? All your traffic watching you is going to go, I don't need to go to Carrie. I'm just going to go Google PIO.
Exactly.
And so if somebody asks you, I usually in the comment section, if they say, what is that? I'll say, let me send you a private message and we can chat.
Right.
That does one of two things. One, it creates a private dialogue between the two of you. And two, it creates curiosity of the people watching going, wait, what is she telling you? Send me a message too. I'm curious too. And it allows you to bring those messages in. And then even then, I don't say PIO. So tell me, what is it that you're looking to do? Are you looking to lose weight, or are you looking to get more flexibility? Like, what are your fitness goals? And then also start dialing in about nutrition and about obstacles and their lifestyle, so that they feel like, not that they feel like, you should be interested in what their story is and what their goals are. And when they feel like you're interested in what their story is and what their goals are, there's some loyalty that's starting to be built, and a relationship that's starting to be built. And then you can use their words, their own personal whys, their drivers, their motivators, to redirect the conversation to PIO. And so I'll say, so Carrie, you said you really wanted to lose 5 pounds, and you're having some issues with your back, and that your lifestyle is super busy, so you don't have a lot of time to even go to the gym, and you can't afford a trainer and stuff like that. I really think my challenge with experience would be incredible for you. And this program that I'm doing is probably going to be really beneficial for the back issues that you're having. And you can kind of tailor your response to their own needs, which is important. They need to hear that, and they need to hear their name. They need to hear their own words in the solution. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thanks.
Boom.
That's my wheelhouse there. I can go all day with that.
And that's it. Exactly. The perfect answer. I can't this is why you're in a good team here. This is the support you're going to get. This is the incredible thing about this business, is that it doesn't even feel like a business, because you're in this amazing team where you're getting the support, where people really want to help you understand all this stuff. And people keep saying to me, what's the cultural difference? Like, what's going to be the difference between UK and US? And I'm like, there really isn't that big a difference. Like, we watch the same TV shows. We're all watching HBO shows on we have Sky and all this kind. It's the same. We're watching the same stuff. We're indoctrinated with the same culture. There's little things here and there. Like, we may be a bit more stiff upper lip, but the way that you help people is exactly the same. There's no difference. And that's the thing, that as long as you're helping people, then it all works.
What other questions do you guys have? Well, I'm sorry, I said that really quick. Any other questions that you guys have?
Oh,
Carrie,
sorry.
that's a good one. I'm glad that you spoke up, because I think that's something that a lot of coaches miss. In all honesty,
a great question.
And they're redirecting their traffic other places or to Google.
Yeah.
So.
So here's what I'd say from our side is that from a corporate perspective is that you obviously now you're connected with a really great team and a really great coach and a whole raft of other people within that team who are there to help and support you. I'm convinced that there is so we have our coach online office, what you all have access to, and the coach basics. There's loads of training videos that we do. The Yatana team have their own training materials that work for them and the culture of that team, which is in lots of ways even better because it just brings their personal experience of the kind of people that are in their team and what works for those people, because you're all very similar people in terms of that's why you're all together, because you have these similar life experiences and understanding of what you want to achieve. But from a corporate perspective, you will have various groups, Facebook groups that you will become part of as you become coaches. There will be the ongoing videos that we are producing within our pre-launch group, as well as ongoing within the Team Beachbody YouTube channel, the Kim Carver type videos and those kind of things, the stuff we do in the online office that will help you with understanding recognition, understanding awards, all of those cool things that happen in the background. And then in the UK, you're also going to have SJ Rossiter, who is in the other room doing more calls at the moment, and she will be available to do calls, to do meet and greets, to go and see you personally. She's in the office half the week and roving the country the other half of the week, and will be available to help you. So if you have a question about motivation or personal development or any of the vital behaviors or any of those things that you just want an extra perspective on from a corporate level, like someone you're having a bad morning and Yatana's not awake yet, then you can message to SJ, and she's essentially, so effectively Yatana explains her relationship with the Utah team personally, but she is like the Yatana's Utah representative, basically, that they will, so SJ is there to be that person to help you, to guide you through some of the corporate stuff as well. And if you reach out and you need something from corporate, then that's what she'll do. She'll help support that. And so you can contact her and be connected to her on Facebook right now and just introduce yourself. So we've had this call. I already will be telling her about this call as well and making sure that she knows all your names and she's aware of you to watch out for you guys in the future as well. And so that's where we are. We're there to help you make sure that you feel like you have the backing of what essentially is, it's a very large organization, but it feels like a really small organization because of the way that we structure it to make you part of us.
Yeah. And I know that, and I'm sure you guys are going to be doing this, but here in the US, like you said, Craig Coyer is my corporate mentor. And every Tuesday I get on mastermind calls with other teams. And we're able to exchange ideas and share. So that might be something that you guys will be doing in the future, where even though you're an Epic Empire and you're part of a US team, you're going to be a part of the UK team culture. So don't feel like you're oh no, my upline's over there and now I can't communicate. There's going to be There's going to be so much community and corporate support over in the UK. And then you have a team that's founded for 5 years with lots of resources as well. So I'm so excited. I think you guys are going to be incredible. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So, where you've got to go now. You've got to do. I think that's the important thing, is you've got a really good starting point. So come back to us with what you want to do next. SJ obviously wants to do more calls with you as a team, as you build your teams, and so we'll make sure that we're there to support those calls as well. And we're all going to obviously see you in London. You're going to get to try the Shakeology, do all these other things. So basically, now just start thinking about how you want your story and what your story is, I think is the best advice from corporate perspective, because that's what we want to be able to help you project as well from a corporate perspective. And that's your success stories and taking your pictures and being part of the product piece that corporate can really help support as well.
Thank you.
No worries. Well, look, if you have nothing else, that was my 2:45 call. So I will need to jump, but I will send this recording to you, and then you can share it amongst your rest of the team, or just whatever you like to do, personal files. And just shout if there's anything you want from us. We're here to help.
Yeah. Absolutely. And will she be reaching out to the two, Carrie and Jennifer?
So what I would suggest is look for SJ. The easiest thing to do is look for SJ Rossiter within Facebook, and just add her. She's added, like, that's a good starting point. And I will connect with SJ at the end of today, and we'll go through all the people we've spoken to, and I'll give her the background so that you have everything you need.
Okay. Yeah, I was just looking her up. I'll find her within your friends.
Yeah, look at my list, and she's also on the pre-launch group as an admin.
Okay. All right. Perfect. We will find it. Well, thank you so
Great.
much for your time. Oh, really quick.
Pleasure.
This is an opportunity to post that you're a part of something. So let's take a quick picture.
Do it.
I'll post it in the group. You guys can use mine if you want. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay! All right. Thank you, Tom.
Have a great day, everyone, and see you in London.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.